Peace, divine understanding, born of law. Look at the 3, 4. That's what you're looking at is 34, right? So if you're saying King not cipher wisdom, Lord equality, divine God equality, born equality. Born equality, born knowledge, power. And knowledge and power born now what? Equality. Alright, now, that was just a demonstration. So, we're going to look at 34 again from arm, leg, arm, head. And then we're going to say, okay, law is God, always has been, always will be. And what names do they use today? All right, the main players in America would be the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians would be the major players. Not to say anybody else is not major in their world, but I'm talking about as far as numbers are concerned. They have the bigger numbers of, say, followers in America. Now, if you look at the world over, they call the big three Jew, Muslim, and Christian. But that's more because of political influence and things of that nature, as far as because those particular countries that adhere to that form of religion are very powerful countries. All right? That's a fact. All right, now let's take it to the next level. When we're going right back to 34. All right, so we're going to hit 34, and we're going to say, since we established that, then we know they're going to say IHVH, Yahweh, Yahshua, Yehoshua, Allah, Muhammad's going to come in on it, Moses, and eventually everybody's going to go back to Abraham, right? Now, so if we go into Abraham's build in Sodom and Gomorrah, we're going to see that that wasn't an emotional manifestation that was taking place. Those are translations of what took place. Not the emotional side of it is man. Right? Because omnipotent manifestation, omnipotent, omnipotent, those two aspects, that's not emotion, that's a human trait. Right? As opposed to Asiatic humans, you have Asiatics, you have humans, right? We'll go into that later, but we're going to go back to 34, right? So now you got 3 going into 4. Well, how 3 go into 4? They say, oh, that's 3 goes into 4 one time, one remainder. Right. Always one remainder breath. Breath is always the remainder. All right. So, when the consciousness and the soul plane and all that is being made manifest on the physical plane all at one time. So you have the 3. You got physical manifestation, which is electromagnetic and all of that. The electricity that you feel in your physical composition, all that activity, all that brain activity, everything is autonomic and you're controlling it. And then there's a part of you of that physical composition that you are not in control of. We are not in control of, right? I'm not saying that at one time when you was manifesting yourself at 360 that you didn't control even the electrons rotating around the proton and the neutron, yes. But today, in today's world, we're not manifesting ourselves at that level of control over the physical composition. So let's go back to 3 going into 4. So the 3 going into 4 You talking earth, right? Earth, when the earth and the fire and the breath, air, right? Because you got air and then you have water, right? When those four elements are at peak perfection in one cell, well, it don't even have to be at peak perfection, but peak perfection for purposes of procreation. When that cell is manifested and the egg is manifested, and when they manifest themselves together at that split moment, I'll show you how fast creation is. At that split moment, the four elements unite and their equilibrium is ready to be equalized by you, the three, when you come in, right? Your consciousness, everything is manifested right then and there. Bam! You're a male or a female. All that is made manifest when that manifestation of the physical you, because the physical you would be more on an electromagnetic level of your clothing, the seven bodies inside the physical body. Those aspects that we can those are tangible. All right. One of them that we're going to look at, we're not going to go into all of the different systems and all. I'm just going to look at the electromagnetic manifestation, the spinal cord, the electromagnetic medulla oblongata, and the brain, all organs, right? That's not you. That's an organ. They used to say in the old days, the soul resides in the brain. Okay? You feel me? Some said it's in the heart. And there's a little brain in the heart, but not really a brain, but it has its own manifestation itself, the heart, like separate from everybody else. The heart and the brain, those two organs are not the same as the other organs in your physical composition. All right? But anyway, we're still at 3 and 4. So when those three manifest, you have man, the physical, man, his soul plane, and man, his spirit self, or the mind, manifest together inside the physical composition, or her inside the physical composition. And then when the manifestation is born, right, it comes out of the womb that took 9 months, and you have 3 more months, and now you've been on the planet Earth now you've been on 3 months past, you've been on the planet Earth 1 year, right? Because you was 9 months in the womb, you're still here. You're on the physical plane of existence. You're just waiting for the physical composition to complete its growth and development in that particular environment so that you can stay in there, in that body, when it comes out of the womb. If it's not fully developed, so that you can stay in there, any damage to it can make you leave. You feel me? You can get the hell up out of there. You'll jump right out that physical composition. Now, the lesson says, the physical composition is a manifestation of existence on the physical plane in infinity. Because it is in infinity now. Am I lying? It's not infinity? Procreation automatically makes it infinity. So it's infinity on the physical plane made manifest. The consciousness of yourself is on the physical plane too, because you know that when the physical body ceases to function between 1 and 120, you leave that body, and the bodies, we find that we're looking for someone, and we find them. Oh, here they go, whatever their name is. Here they are, right? That's what you said. We found them. They're alive and well. or they're sick, they're hurt, they're exposure, whatever. All right? Now, if you find them and they're not in that body, what do we say? What did they say? Huh? Corpus delicti, physical composition. We found their body, his body, her body. They don't say they found you. Yeah, we found the body. They were missing. Such and such and such and such was missing. And then a year or so later, we found her body. See? We found her corpus delicti. And they want to put your remains away because that's what they have a connection to when you ain't there anymore. They still want to make sure your remains are taken care of. That's a trait from people. People and persons on earth do that. No other entity on earth takes it to that level of, because the animals that care for their compadres, their friends, their associates, the people of their tribe, or whatever the case may be, right? You've seen elephants mourn their dead, but they're not going to do anything with the remains. You feel me? They mourn them and stuff like that. And there's other animals that are that way, dolphins and stuff like that. Them kind of animals, the ape family, all of them do that. Kind of, they feel bad when their friends die. You see a dog, his master dying, he'll be howling. Oh, you see it? You feel me, right? See, so we can relate. Okay, now, boom. That's still dealing with what? 3 into 4. All right? Okay, so now here's a conclusion for 3 into 4. On the physical plane, if the breath can't get in, not the breath that can't get out, because you can hold your breath and you'll still be good. But if you don't let some of that breath in, the man will expire that way, right? If the earth is damaged in such a form that the organs can't work or you run out of water, the man will expire that way. Because remember, you got fire now. If the fire goes out, you'll leave too. Or, well, still there's a fire and it's burning you. That's damaging the physical composition of the earth. That's damaging your earth part. And that makes you, that also damages, the heat damages the water, makes it boiling. And that's what's happening. So you leave that way too, right? If you fall and if you fall, he said, but he fell. You didn't say fall. No, falling, you still damage the physical composition. You damage Earth. You put a hole in her, and she might have, and all the water leaked out. He said he separated Earth and Moon, and all the water poured back on this part. Right? Now, he said, the other brother said, oh, I don't know how I can't adapt Wisdom Builder Destroy the Green and 1 to 40. So my question would be then, well, what is your theory or what is your story? What's your history on it? Okay, that's yours. Good. You keep that one. Work with what you got. That's what I say. Work with what you got. I work with this because I can see it. I can see it in the physical plane. I can see it in the world made manifest. Everything that the Wisdom Builder Destroy Degree says, and all the hidden and all the lessons that have anything to do with that subject matter, man, it take you about a month. You probably will see it all right here on Earth. Pretty much. If you're conscious enough, if you're not like a child, of course, we see it gradually through growth and development in time, because that's because we're on Earth. But if you already know what you're looking for, and you already have a blueprint, I could do it in less than a month, G, because of the way media is. You can get access to things very fast nowadays. Not like it used to be. You had to go to the library. Those days are over, son. You can go to the library on your phone. For the most part of, if you're gonna do some real deep research, you don't know how to look for it. That's the problem. Say you're looking up a word like Asiatic, and I mean, at the end of the day, what books are you using to look that word up? Is where the problem comes. So say you might say, well, I'm using the Devil's Book, Webster. I'm gonna get a Satan book, or I'm gonna get a English dictionary from somebody from Britain. I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna define a word that. Damn, son, that's just old. That word for Earth is pretty old, G. It's an old word. It's not a new word. It's not an English word. There's no real English word. English borrowed all their words from somewhere. They're like the last one. So, where are you basing your theory on that? It's not that I gotta prove that Asiatic is right and exact. You gotta prove that it's not. The burden of proof isn't on me. You know why the burden of proof isn't on me? Because 120 already showed and proved itself. You trying to show and prove 120 to your what? Self. That's what you're doing. Because 120 already been tried and tested and true, and it never failed. It always won. Anybody that was taught by Elijah and they're a student of, they was a student of Elijah, right? Get the major players that went up against all of the European scholars and everything they had. They threw everything at them. Remember, let's go look at Malcolm X's tapes. What? You think he was kicking it like that before he got 120? Oh, is that after? It wasn't exactly 120 because 120 is what the 5% Nation, but still, it's based on supreme wisdom, 120 lessons, the plus degrees. If he had that, that's why he knew. Yes, he did read the dictionary when he was in prison. He didn't start doing that shit, making it tangible. Man, son, listen. That's added on ciphers. You can have all the added on academic science you want. But if you don't got your 120, which is your knowledge of yourself, if you don't have knowledge of self, 120 is a third of 360. So if you don't at least have 120 of knowledge yourself so that you can have a basis to go do whatever else, you're going to not see. You could be a PhD. You could still be bootlicking and kicking and dancing, son. You could still not know and be in that realm. You making your money, but wherever you working at, you cooning. It don't matter. Cooning don't come from academic European education to function in the society to get Federal Reserve notes. That's not what it means, and that's not how it comes. You could be broke in the hood, and when you get around Europeans, you start cooning. It don't matter what money you got. Cooning is what's in you. You already a coon. You can't help it. You just a coon. Sometimes you could be deprogrammed from cooning, but pretty much most coons, they just come out cooning. They like the coon. Jeffro Bodine ass niggas. But anyway, I ain't trying to get on motherfuckers. I'm just using that as a for instance to say, with knowledge of self, you ain't gonna be cooning like that. Because you'll know who you are. Fuck who, you know what the God said? We ain't really worried about who they are. You already know who they are. They tell you who they are. They got books everywhere about who they are. Don't give a fuck about that. You need to know who the fuck you are. And once you know who you are, it doesn't matter if you broke or not broke. You need knowledge of self. You get knowledge of self, you still might not be rich. Because they might not want to go after it that way. If you want to be rich, G, outside of doing black people things like sports or entertainment to get wealthy, right? The intestinal fortitude, you have to go after it. Now you can do it. Some people, but everybody doesn't want to do that. Some people just want to get them a nice little job, live comfortable, and then study and read and enjoy themselves and go do. They ain't really on it like that. But the way this system is set up, that if you get the correct amount of Federal Reserve notes per year, you could just spend more time studying and visiting excavation sites and this, that, and the third. Right now, in this city, I say if you work in the tri-state area, I mean you can make it on 40,000 a year, which means you really only taking home 30,000, but you really need 60 to 70,000 so that you could take home 55, 60,000, maybe 55. So you could take home like 55 and you'll be all right. Now, if you down south, of course, you 55 will take you even longer. Wherever you at, depending on the economy, you need about 55 and you'll be good, right? But the European is in control of most of the Federal Reserve notes as far as transferring it from production to finance to personnel, right? He's not? Oh, okay. So once you know that, then you know you gotta have knowledge yourself so that even when you able to do it, you know what to do with it. Because you could be rich and be doing what? What are you doing? You ain't doing shit. You just being rich. When Europeans are rich, they still be helping the other Europeans come up. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you're supposed to be helping the Asiatics come up, especially the Asiatic black people in the wilderness of North America. Y'all got to get your shit together a little bit better. You know, I say y'all because I say that in absence of the people who got knowledge of self. I talk to them too. I tell them what they got to do too. Because all of us that got knowledge of self, at the end of the day, once we get to a point where we waking up the people and you keep waking them up and you think that stops, you have to keep waking them up. The new ones, the ones that you ain't even born yet, that you're supposed to have contact with and wake up, they haven't been born yet. So you're not done. Once you get knowledge yourself, you got to pass it forward. Because the nation, I don't care what happens, no matter what we do, if we don't wake up from what he did when he used the 1555, the 64-year indoctrination period, and then from that point on to 1865, and that was a prisoners of war and missing in action world, and then you go and back at that, it's terrorism. Because from them little 10 years, 1865 to 1875, you was good and you was coming up. And then after that, they terrorized us from 1870. I mean, straight up, as they be calling the Arab terrorists. Well, they did that to us all the way up to now. You don't know it, but any psychiatrist worth his salt or do analyze the nation as a whole, and you can do it from an individual perspective and move it in geographic. All of us are traumatized in the DNA, in the RNA. They've been traumatizing us since 1555. You just don't really see it consciously because you only think about your own experiences that you are experiencing right now as an individual. But your DNA knows what went down all the way back to the first time they landed on these shores and started attacking us. That is a fact. But the problem is when no matter if you have knowledge of self or you don't have knowledge of self, no matter how you accumulate certain degrees of knowledge, no matter how you try to assimilate or acculturate and add on or try to be an American, no matter what you do, those stumbling he puts up, he'll say, you need to take my religion. And if you say no, then he'll crush you. But if you took it, then he say something else like, well, you need to only speak my language. And if you didn't do that, then he'd get at you. If you did it, then he let that go. Then he just there's always something. There's always something. So it's just how he is, man. I don't want to say individually people do that, but as a nation, that's what's being done. Them as a nation get at us as a nation, but they do it on two levels: at us as a nation, but they also doing its physical aspects because people be dying. That's what makes it a physical, just you experience. Because you think you had some experience, you ain't had no experience till you get that one. Because at the end, it might be seconds from the point of them doing it to you dying, or leaving that physical composition, like I said, 3, 4. It might be, however many seconds it took, minutes, whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's a day. I don't know how long. But in that moment, you know what's going on. And so you make your judgment call based on that. Yes, but when somebody is dealing it from an analytical, anthropological, or social or cultural way, they look at the whole nation as a whole, and they go back hundreds of years, and they look at history, and they see what they did. And you've been Tommy, been terrorizing us. Word is born to the Father, and you feel it. That's why when you're driving in the car and the police pull up behind your car, I don't care if you're a coon. You still be, unless you one of them real dead coons and you ain't been experienced nothing yet, but you about to get a wake up. You'll be over there thinking that your coonism is going to help you, but it might not. It might help you. They might like you if you cooning for them, but then again, sometimes they don't like you. I mean, it just depends on who the person is. But cooning don't get you off no better than not cooning. They still trying to get you, is what I'm saying. So, boy, I get to the point of 3 and 4. I keep going back to 3 and 4 because it keeps manifesting itself. That 3 and the 4 is you're getting your physical composition damaged to the point you can't stay in there. And it ain't just they ain't just shooting at you and shit. They doing other shit like, if I take all the jobs out the hood, but I make drugs available, and you get them and start hustling, and I put guns in the street and I hook that up, because black people don't make guns. Okay, I bear witness to the Second Amendment too, but what gun factories y'all got? I know so. Because if we got any, I don't know about them. They must be underground, because I looked it up, and I didn't see any owned by black people. I didn't see any gun places that manufacture guns, make them from the die. Nah, you don't have any of that, G. Word is born to the Father. We don't have any of those. So that means somebody else is making them and giving them. How are you getting them? Even if you buying some legal and bringing it back to the hood and selling it for double, how many motherfuckers are doing that? For that many weapons is in the hood? Are you serious? I don't think so, son. So you're not in control of even killing yourself. How about that? You're doing it, though. You're killing yourself way more than they are. More families are crying when they go into the funeral than the ones that was crying when the police kill us. But what's the difference when we kill us and the police kill us? Okay, first thing from the gate, our killing ain't racist. And we ain't killing ourselves because we racist about ourselves. We might be hating ourselves and killing ourselves, but we ain't racist towards ourselves because we don't go in that movement as a group. That's not how we roll. We too diverse to do that. What we doing is we're very passionate people. So a heated argument could get your ass killed just because of the moment. But normally it would have been just a fight because your ass ain't making no guns. You ain't making none. Somebody got to give them Either you got to go buy one from a store legitimately, which I don't know how good that's going to go down. With black people in America, most of us ain't around here buying no guns like that. I ain't saying there aren't any of us doing it, but most of us are not buying them that way. And getting them in the hood. Right? Most of the bangers, all us that's hollering, banging, we are not ourselves going and getting it. Somebody might be going down south and getting it, but my man, really? How many assault weapons can you just go down there and buy and bring back? Think about it. You're black. You're going down south. You're legit. You're going to buy a bunch of assault weapons to bring them back to your banging homies. And you really believe you're going to get back. Come on, see. What are you going to get, a van load? You got to be like mafia level to do that, my nigga. Really organize and paying off politicians and all kind of shit to move that kind of weight. I know what I'm talking about. I know how to do logistics, G. And you ain't doing that. That's not what we doing. So that common sense tells us, whoa, we not even control the shooting ourselves. We ain't in control. See, Malcolm said they'll give you the drugs and the guns, and then they'll come and arrest you for it. Elijah said it too. Noble Drew Ali said it. Marcus Garvey said it. Mad people said this before. Everything that I'm saying already been said before. It's just that our generation, us, me and down under, some of us may have not heard it. So they told me to tell y'all, and I'm telling you. It is what it is. But that's a fact, son. Now, let's go to the conclusion. Because knowledge itself is going to change all this shit real quick. It's on and popping now anyway, because their back is against the wall. We do our best work when our back is against the wall. I don't know why they do that. They should have just stayed calm and stopped doing all that killing. When you start killing innocent black people for no reason, like you the pharaoh or something, and you trying to kill all our firstborn or some shit you on, when you do that, you cause the other problems to come. And then that makes us say, oh, he's trying to kill us. Now you could dress it up to try to tell the world that that's not what you're doing. You could do jury nullification all you want, because that's part of the United States of America's judicial system is jury nullification. That's when somebody's totally guilty of whatever law that the state has written, federal or state or city government, and the people say they don't bear witness to it, and they won't indict the person. Okay? So most towns that are the peer groups of the European police will never indict them. I mean, when you tell me when someone from the police did some killing and something and got indicted, nah, son, it's not happening. Only time when they get indicted, they do something that the state doesn't like. Like when they stuck that plunger handle in that French. No, he wasn't French. He was Haitian. He was Haitian from Haiti. Came to America. Must have been a Haitian American. And they put a plunger in him. I don't know what the fuck that was all about, but wow, it was crazy. But anyway, they did that to dude, and he got all that money. And those guys, from what I understand, they did some time for that, but I'm sure they didn't really get dogged. But anyway, they're gonna look out for you, just like they're a paramilitary group, but they represent city government. You feel me? So if city government got them representing them and they allow them to do that, then that means city government wants that to go down. They believe what they're doing when they give those reports, when they say what they say to the city government, and the city government exonerates them, then that means they believe them and didn't believe you. That's what you got to look at it as. That's really what's happening. Because there's the police, who they work for. They not private. Police work for cities. And this ain't just one city that the police is getting at us. It's across the country. that is they're getting at us. So if they're getting at us across the country, I don't really know if that's just city and state. That look like the feds don't give a fuck either. Now, if the feds don't give a fuck, you gotta remember, federal government is still ran by people who have agendas. And their agendas is a capitalistic agenda, so it's still based on dough. So at the end of the day, if you're able to control your money and your Federal Reserve notes, them niggas will do what they gotta do to get your money. You feel me? And if you stop pulling your resources, because see, we're at a disadvantage because all these other nationalities that come to America, they still got their country that they connected to. Even if they get citizenship here, they still got countrymen there, and they could do something different. They got a tether line. You, when you're here, he took your country, because all of the indigenous inhabitants of the west of North America, from Alaska to Chile, the indigenous inhabitants, which was black and brown when he got here, he could tell you whatever story he wanted to tell you. I'm not talking about his story. I'm talking about the real shit that went down. There was black and brown people here when he got here. And he pretty much annihilated them. And that's a fact. And then he made you, after he killed as many as he could kill, at the same time he made all of y'all speak whatever European language he wanted you to speak, and he amalgamated miscegenation, rape, and all that other shit he did. Finally, after so many hundreds of years, he broke us, and now you see what state we're in now. We either speak in English or Spanish or French. If we on this side, pretty much. I don't know. Maybe some of us are still speaking indigenous languages, but pretty much most of us don't even know the real history. We'll be thinking that he brought us over here, and not that our ancestors came over here. So he fuck you up when he do that. Gotta make it look like he got you here. Not that you was already here, chilling, and he came and took your shit. And he also tried to make it look like, even if you was here, that you was kind of like a savage, wow, you wasn't doing nothing with the land and all that. My nigga, that's not true, son. Trust and believe. It was very highly sophisticated when he got here. It was at such a high level of civilization, he couldn't even understand it. He was wrecked when he saw it. See, that should show how he fucked up the history. So you got a fucked up warped concept of what's going on. That's why you don't act the way you're supposed to act when you deal with other people, because you don't really know what happened. You're not aware of what took place because it's not part of the curriculum that we automatically teach the children. This is what took place. This is what you got to do to come up. Yada yada yada. You know, I mean, we shouldn't really be having our children in their schools. I don't know why we would have people who want to do harm to us. You would let them teach your children. That shit don't make no fucking sense for us to do that. And I understand how it happened. Because Tulsa, Oklahoma happened all over every city that we had, everything. They just kept fucking us up. I'm telling you. And after a few hundred years go by, we don't remember. Because we kind of forgiving like that. We'll just let shit go. But we don't be even reminding our children what happened. We just kind of let it go. If motherfuckers didn't write this shit down, son, most of us wouldn't even know what the hell went down. Lucky our ancestors thought ahead and wrote shit down. And was like, look, these motherfuckers are going to forget if we don't put this shit in paper on them. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk, straight like that. Like we at the bus stop. You feel me? Train, getting on the A train, wherever you at. Calling a cab, I don't know, Uber, that new shit they got. Something other than Uber now, Getty and all that. Maybe you doing that. But whatever the case may be, at any given moment, your physical composition could be damaged by either us, who is, see the trauma that we in, our own people could get at us. You think I'm lying? Well, why do you think motherfuckers be having places so secure somewhere, or why do you think motherfuckers want to get out of the hood? Because the hood is dangerous. Why is the hood dangerous? Ain't no dough there. When there ain't no dough, there's a limited amount of resources and everybody trying to use them. So you got like 1,000 motherfuckers trying to use 10 resources. Man, it's gonna be on, son. That's not gonna be a good look. But that's what's happening. Okay. So now we already know what the fuck is happening. I'm telling you that it's happening. You pretty much know that part. What are you missing? You're missing the solution. How do I fix this shit that we in? There's always got to be a solution. You can't be telling people all this shit and you don't got no plan now. All right, now the plan is they doing that black bank thing, right? Everybody doing that. Get your money out the European banks, put that shit in the black bank. That's a good start. That'll let them see we ain't playing. All right. Next move we gonna do now. The next big move that's coming on the plate, coming out them round tables is all those designer niggas. We gonna get at them. We gonna get at all them designer niggas because they got big money on the DL. They lobby and they do all that kind of shit, that Hollywood shit, all that. We gonna get at all of them by not letting them get out though. Because we spend a lot of dough with those motherfuckers, son. Trust and believe we do. Then when we hit them in the head with that one, the next hit in the head is all the liquor stores gonna get hit in the head next. I don't give a fuck if we gotta make distilled liquor because you got an alcoholic problem. Then the fuck, that's what you better do. Because we gonna hit them in the head too. Because we don't own none of those motherfucking liquor stores. I bet you if we stop buying liquor, we gonna fuck them lobbying motherfuckers gonna get their shit together. Because if you think that the liquor companies don't lobby, oh, they lobby, son. So that means they all in on shooting at us and doing whatever the fuck they want because they feel like they could do it. So we got to get back at them. Now we can't really fight them physically with guns and shit. It ain't enough of us that's skilled in that. Okay, even if all the bangers went at them, how many bangers we got against them? Then you ain't gonna win, G. They gonna bring their... You banging against the police, they might bring the army in on your ass. You know, it could just get ugly. It's better to do a Martin Luther King on their ass. Because you do a Martin Luther King on their ass, they not going to be able to fuck with that, son. You see what that football player did? That was a Martin Luther King move. He ain't did nothing but just, I ain't standing for this racist-ass flag with these racist-ass songs, and y'all just been fucking us up for... You worried about the Confederate flag? Man, the American flag be putting foot in your ass when you was Native American. They told you was Indians and all of that shit they told you. Them cowboy stories, but you see, right? Putting foot to ass is what they was doing. So trust and believe it's on and popping. We just ain't been catching on. Thank God for the internet that is making it so that people who are conscious are saying, we've been seeing this shit since 1555. But our people ain't been catching it because the media don't tell them. But now, every nigga is a star. So now, we all the newspaper. That's why it's getting out. Everybody's seeing it. You feel me? That's what's going down. It is what it is. Now, after we bang all those liquor stores in the head, right, we going to keep going progressively. Then we going to start going for the big stores like Kmart, Macy's, all of them. We going to boycott their asses too. We ain't giving them no dough. I don't care if we gotta stay home and go back to old school 1970 shit and be sewing our clothes and whatever. That's how we gonna have to roll on them. Because don't no motherfucker understand English. They only understand action. Federal Reserve note action. If it ain't Federal Reserve note, it ain't going down. You know what I'm saying? Now I know that by us pulling the money out of, we still connected in a way, because you still using Federal Reserve notes and whatever the case may be. But you could get at them too by dealing with the gold bullion and the silver bullion. So don't think they untouchable. Ain't nobody untouchable if you're using 120. Everybody could get touched now. Because their Federal Reserve notes, they don't like that gold and silver shit. Trust and believe they don't like you fucking, and they don't like no and the European today that's dealing with democracy, which this country didn't get founded on a democracy, and I ain't saying I liked it when it was a republic, but you can use one law against another, because once they did the 1933 deal, once that depression, once 1929, from that point on, that the government wasn't the same as it was prior to that. You feel me? It's a different government. You just think it's the same old. constitutional government. It's not. They dealing with executive orders. Actually, the Constitution pretty much been suspended, man. They just really using Bill of Rights. They use that articles a little bit for themselves or whatever is how to run government, but pretty much they under executive orders. Dr. Gene Schroeder was trying to get them to sign back to constitutional law because it would run the country would run better, and they'd have to go back to silver and gold as a basis of money and shit like that. But I just don't see them doing it. I don't see the president signing over his acquiescence. I don't see him. He ain't giving it that acquiescence to because I don't think he could do it. I don't think that the system will allow him to sign it back over. Like, nah, it's not gonna go down like that. So they're not gonna let that happen. G, somebody could get killed trying to do that. I think, but the people, if everybody got together, if all of us that's broke, see, you could take it to the next level. The other plan is just us because the other poor white people, they not really down with helping us because it's still not in their best interest to help us. I'm not saying some of them don't want to help us, but most of them ain't helping. Gee, if they was helping, I don't see them helping. We're gonna be talking about, oh, that's racist. Okay, well, where they helping? What they doing? You tell me. Niggas is getting shot in the street, and the white people are the jury and the grand jury, and they letting them go. So don't fucking tell me they helping. Helping where? Motherfucker, they just put two people up for you to vote for that you're not really voting for them. I mean, you voting for them, but that's a popular vote. But popular vote don't mean the electoral vote's going to still swing your way. Whoever they want in there, but just the point of the matter is, they only give you two motherfuckers to pick from, and neither one of them is worth a shit. They gave you two assholes to pick from. How the fuck do I pick from asshole one or asshole two? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this cat, that's clown, the rich guy who thinks he's fucking got real hair and he got that fake ass hair in his head. But this guy is blatantly racist. I mean, his whole basic foundation of his movement is racism. Because all of those, you see, go look back on them films when he first started his meetings. Man, he had every racist group in America at his meeting. His foundational group. Yes, I'm not going to say the Patriots weren't there and the other European groups that like Ross Perot and all them kind of people. They be making those kind of patriotic movements. I'm not saying them kind weren't there too, because we black people, so we don't paint everybody with a paintbrush. Because we know in our family we'll see black, brown, red, and yellow. But who gives a fuck about the ones who is that's not fucking with us, or they trying to do something, which I don't see where they doing so much. But I guess there's some of them trying. It's just the awesome machine is too great and they can't do nothing either. It's irrelevant for me to mention that. There's enough coons out there dancing for them that I don't even gotta say anything about that. What I'm saying is, those motherfuckers that got the strength and the power to really run this shit and could stop this shit with a snap of their finger ain't doing it. They not doing it. If anything, they telling them to get at us. Because if you let crazy idiots shoot people and don't prosecute them, man, do you know what comes out the woodwork when them other motherfuckers start catching on that you could do this shit and not get anything happen to you? It's getting ready to be like the world is looking at them saying, damn, they some terrorists. Don't they be terrorizing those black people like that? Why they do that to them? That's what the world is saying. And you, the inside, getting mad saying, damn, son, you not killing criminals. I ain't seen nobody running down the block with a kilo and a gun and you shot him. I ain't seen no motherfuckers with AK-47 shooting at you and you shooting at them. And it's like on TV. It ain't nothing. You ever seen The Predator, the one with Danny Glover, and you see how those bangers was shoot? That's not going down. Did you see anything in the news like that, my nigga? No, I didn't either. There's no good cop criminal wars fighting Elliot Ness Al Capone type shit, Bonnie and Clyde. No, that was white people. Ain't none of that going on right now. You tell me in history, was no Jesse James niggas doing that? Really? Come on, stop. So, now, if they're so afraid, because they say, oh, we was afraid of black people because we was afraid they was going to kill us. So, then you must got some statistics where we've been killing y'all. And that made you afraid. So, where are they? Because I didn't see any of them. I did my own research, right? Every year, approximately 126 cops are killed. I said approximately, give or take a few. All right, now, if we took 126 police, 40 of them died from suicide. That is a actual fact. Now, they died from suicide, so 40 from that number. Okay, now, then, oh shit, it's only what? The next 50 to 60 of them died in like car accidents where they was chasing motherfuckers or whatever the fuck they was doing. It was them chasing somebody, and most of the time the reports say they didn't have their seat belts or something on, and they had that car accident. So that's another 50. That gave them 90 gone. Then they said around 6, they not sure what happened with them. That's still, it's always something pending with these people. So that's always pending. Around 6 is they ain't even sure. They be holding up niggas' pensions and all kind of crazy shit. Could be some internal revenue shit. I mean, internal revenue, whatever. IA and all them different motherfuckers investigating, whatever the case may be, right? And then those 20, they said out of that, only 20 had something to do with gunfire back and forth. And pretty much out of that 20, like 19 would have been them having a shootout with white people. That's a fact. Maybe one with some black people. They don't be having a lot of shootouts with us because black people don't really be shooting at the police. That's some real shit, G. We don't fuck with them because you make the block hot. If we all hustling, we don't want you other gangbanging niggas shooting the police and making DTs and all them motherfuckers come and fuck up the money. Now let's keep that fucking real. The hood knows that shit and they know I'm telling the fucking truth. So that's some bullshit. Where the fuck did they get this I'm scared from shit? From who? Who are you afraid of? Y'all been terrorizing. The police is them same motherfuckers that used to go get you when you ran off the plantation. They was the police then. So I don't see where we ever really been doing anything to them as a people or individuals that would make them so afraid of us that they shoot out children for having a toy gun. I don't get that. Even when you in a bad neighborhood and niggas is killing each other, they don't be killing you. Shit, most of the time white person can walk through there if he walk through it the right way and the right time. Nobody will fuck with him. Because we don't want other shit going down. So I know that they know it. We all know this shit is the fucking truth. So that puts a hole in your whole story. But I bet you black people didn't know that 771 black men got killed. Right? I'm not counting. They not counting the ones that had fights and was criminals because they don't count those. They count you didn't. These people didn't have any weapons, and they don't really have a background for that. Like, why are you killing them? They on their way to college or somewhere. They going to work. They just a motorist. Most of the time it's motorists or you walking down the block or you sitting there playing in the street or you a crazy person and you ain't got it right upstairs and they fucking released you from the hospital so that they could shoot you. It's crazy when you start looking at the statistics yourself and you start going through it painstakingly. You say, man, I don't see why they're so afraid. Something is wrong. I don't think they're afraid. I think they're using that. They're using that phrase because that's the script that they all use, that they were afraid and that's why they shot him. I feared for my life. That's why I shot him. All them little stories that they use, that's not really what you seeing. He lunged at me like I saw this one brother. They taking him out the paddy wagon. And he's coming out the paddy wagon. White cop just elbows him like throws a Wing Chun elbow in his sucking head for no apparent reason. Just because He's a racist ass cop, and they hate black people. It is what the fuck it is. And he just went at the young boy like that, and then he tried to act like in his report, he put that the young boy lunged at him and he feared for his life. So that's why he elbowed him. And then this other cop was backing his story up saying, he was like a sergeant or somewhere. He was saying, well, yeah, if you look at the video, you'll see that the guy lunges at him and that he's done just like he was trained. That when he fears for his life, or his well-being, I'm like, I hear what you're saying. I see what happened, and I know it's bullshit. And I know I hear you. You saying what you say, but we all know it's bullshit. You just saying that. But everybody with a brain and eyes are looking and saying, nah, son, you just trying to get at black people. So now, that's why I say we got to get back at them, G. We can't get back at them good unless we bang them in the head. And banging them in the head is hitting them in their pockets. They can't fuck with that dough not coming to them. I mean, we could get to the next level when we just say, you know what? Check this out. If 17 million black people tomorrow don't go to work, we need all the ones that work in the cities and shit like that. That you can really bang them in the head. If we just don't go to work. Don't call out, because don't use the phone. Don't cut on electricity. Don't nothing but the necessity of the refrigerator, because you got your food in there. We ain't gonna catch the bus. We ain't gonna call on the phone if we talking to us. We ain't gonna use none of this stuff. Don't use a lot of electricity. Don't turn on the TV. Just stop. Fuck it. Why am I here fucking with y'all haters, and you trying to kill us all? It doesn't matter if you rich, a senator. They throw senators on the street. They slam fucking representatives. They act like they don't know you a professor and you in your own home. They beat you up there. They just going lunatic crazy. So that's like the next level. When we go to the next level would be, we just don't go to fucking work. We all just stay home. I bet you that fucked the whole system up. Now I'm sure at first the people who know that they're going to try to get at them by trying to fire them. See, that only works good when it's a little bit of people doing it. But my G, it's like 40 million of us. If half that number did it, the other half would catch on and they would get down too. They might be the scared half. But at the rate that they're coming at us, that coon sheriff, he won't be able to stop us with his cooning ass. And all them other coons, Stacy and all the rest of the coons, Barkley and all his coon friends. Them coons can't stop us if we shut down. And everybody can shut down, from children to old people. See, when you talking about let's go to war, everybody can't do that. But everybody can shut down. See what I'm saying? We all could do the Martin Luther King on their ass. And it sounds good. We doing the Martin Luther King. That could be the code. Son, all I gotta do is say we doing the Martin Luther King. Everybody know that means we gonna boycott these motherfuckers. Feel me? Boycott the devil. And I'm out. Peace.